Hi, my name is Russell Brunson, and I know your story. You've got a website or a product or an opportunity that you want to promote, but no matter what you do, you can't get people to come to your website, right? Isn't that why you're here? To answer the golden question, how do I get visitors, customers, and traffic to come to my websites consistently, day in and day out? Well, over the past 3 years, my team and I set out to answer that question for you. We spent over $280,000 on courses. We studied over 130,000 pages in manuals and ebooks. We went through over 600 DVDs, 4,000 CDs, and attended or hosted over 40 workshops. We took in all this information and then tested the process for over 3 years. And what we found was, well, it was kind of shocking. But before I share with you the results, I want to tell you a story first, because all the work we put in was completely useless until we discovered this one thing. So let me tell you this quick story. It's about a book I read that has nothing to do with internet marketing. Yet after I read this book, I was able to get hundreds of thousands of visitors to my websites every single month, consistently for over 5 years, without ever lifting a finger. Now, it's really that simple. All you have to do is say, send this traffic to www.yourwebsite.com, and traffic could instantly go to that site. Now, that's why smart internet marketers are going to want to be part of what I'm going to share with you right now in this video. 5 years ago, I was going on a family trip to Lake Powell, Utah. On the way out of town, we stopped by a Barnes & Noble, and I grabbed a new book to read on the trip. Now, I didn't have long to figure out what book I wanted, so I grabbed the very first thing that looked interesting. It was called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Now let me tell you, despite what I thought, the E-Myth has nothing to do with internet marketing. But I didn't find that out until I'd driven 10 hours across the desert, jumped into a houseboat, and set out anchor into the middle of the lake. So, while I was disappointed that the book had nothing to do with internet marketing, I was shocked at what I learned, and this book transformed my life forever. In the book, he asked the question, why are people willing to spend millions of dollars to buy a McDonald's franchise? Does it have anything to do with their hamburgers being better than everybody else's? Well, no, the reason you spend over $1 million to buy a McDonald's franchise is because they've created systems that are so easily and duplicatable that you can literally take any 15-year-old kid off the street, and within minutes they're able to make the exact same hamburgers and make McDonald's famous. So they aren't paying $1 million for a secret recipe or for great tasting hamburgers. They're paying it for their systems. And when I read that, I had a big aha moment. I looked at my own entrepreneurial life and realized that I was doing everything by myself. Let me know if this sounds a little bit like you. As the entrepreneur of my business, I had to come up with product ideas, I had to create the product, I had to write the sales letter or create the sales video, I had to design the graphics, set up the website, sell the product, drive traffic, do the customer support, and on and on and on. Now, if I ever stopped doing any of these things, then everything would collapse, my business would go under. Does that sound like you? Yeah, that was me about 5 years ago. And what I realized is that I needed to slow down, look at everything I was doing, and then do what McDonald's does. Create systems that are so simple a 15-year-old kid could do them, so I could outsource them and easily have other people do it. Now, I became obsessed with creating systems for every single part of my business so that it would run without me. Then one day I thought to myself, how can I turn traffic getting into a system? Just imagine getting traffic to your website without having to do anything ever. Just set up a system and magically traffic would come to my website. Well, it sounds too good to be true, don't you think? Well, here's how it usually works. You go out there and you buy a huge course or an ebook teaching a new concept on how you can drive traffic to your website. After you spend a few hours learning the strategy, then you have to spend weeks or months trying to implement them and hoping that you'll eventually be able to get some traffic. Does that sound like you? Now, this takes a lot of time and the chances of success are really low. It's like going to Vegas and betting on red or on black. Sure, you got a 50-50 chance of winning, but half the time you're going to fail and you're not going to know what you're getting until after you've already wasted your time and your money. So how do I know this? Well, because I went through this frustrating process myself many times. I bought every product and every course on anything related to internet marketing. You see, when I first got started in internet marketing, I wanted to make it big. I saw other people making money online, and I knew that I could do it too. If I could just get people, if I could just get traffic to come to my website. Now, I'm sure you've probably thought the same thing before, right? So I went out and I started to buy every single product I could get my hands on. In fact, my accountant recently told me that I've invested over $280,000 on courses teaching different aspects of internet marketing. $280,000. Isn't that crazy? Now, I hope that you found this video before you spent that much, so I can save you some time and some money. You see, I already knew how to create a website and how to create products, but my biggest problem was getting traffic to my websites. Because let's face it, getting a website online isn't that hard, but unless people show up to that website, you're never going to sell anything, right? It's kind of like that movie with Kevin Costner, The Field of Dreams, where he says, if you build it, they will come. Now, if only it were that easy. The truth is, getting traffic to a site is one of the hardest things to do. In fact, it's considered to be the holy grail of internet marketing because it's extremely hard to find and get. So one day I sat down and wondered, how could I systemize the traffic process so I could get traffic coming to my website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without any actual work on my part. I wanted the traffic, but I didn't want to spend 18 hours a day doing it myself either. I'm not sure about you, but that's why I got into this whole internet marketing business. So it could be automated for me and make money while I do what I really wanted to do with my life. So my team and I went through over $280,000 of courses, tested them out, we saw what worked, and we also saw what didn't work. And after years of trial and error, we were able to break down the winners into a very few simple traffic systems. We then created these systems in a way that didn't require me to do anything. I could give them